Welcome to Shalom World Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Heroic Lives, where we explore the extraordinary stories of saints whose wisdom, courage, and faith continue to shape our world.
Heroic Lives.
In our last episode, we explored Saint Anselm of Canterbury, who showed how faith and reason can work together to understand God more deeply. If you missed it, you can listen to the full episode anytime on shalomworld.org.
So, who are we learning about today?
Today, we move to 19th century England, a world caught between faith and skepticism. It's here we meet a man who bridged those worlds with brilliance, humility, and a relentless pursuit of truth. Saint John Henry Newman, the cardinal doctor of the Church. He was a scholar, a preacher, a convert, and one of the greatest Christian thinkers of the modern era. Newman pointed to the truth that faith and reason are not opposite to each other, but companions on the journey to God. He taught that conscience isn't just a feeling, it's the echo of God's voice within the human heart. His life asks us to think deeply, pray honestly, and live with integrity. The doctors of the Church are those whose writings and teachings have illuminated the faith across the centuries. They help us understand what it means to believe, not only with the mind, but also with the heart. Newman joins that great cloud of witnesses, offering a voice that still speaks powerfully to today's world, one that often struggles to hold faith and reason together. John Henry Newman was born in London on February 21, 1801, into a devout Anglican family. His father encouraged intellectual curiosity, while his mother nurtured his faith and moral sensitivity. It was a home where both prayer and questions were welcome. As a child, Newman was thoughtful, imaginative, and serious about truth. He once revealed that from a young age he felt a sense of God's presence that never left him. That quiet awareness of God grew into a lifelong journey, one that would take him from the halls of Oxford University to the heart of the Catholic Church. Newman attended Trinity College, Oxford, where his brilliant mind quickly made him a rising star. He excelled in philosophy, literature, and theology, and soon became a fellow at Oriel College. At just 25, he was ordained as an Anglican priest. Newman was deeply passionate about his faith and longed to renew the Anglican Church from within. Alongside other scholars, he helped spark what became known as the Oxford Movement, a call to rediscover the Catholic roots of Anglicanism, its liturgy, its sacraments, and its deep connection to the early Church Fathers. As you can expect from what you've heard told so far, the Oxford Movement was controversial. It challenged the comfortable, cultural Christianity of its time and insisted that the Church was more than just a national institution. It was part of a divine, apostolic story. For Newman, truth mattered more than popularity. He poured himself into study, prayer, and writing, longing to know where that truth led. But as he read deeper into the writings of the early Church Fathers, a question began to trouble him. If the early Church looked so Catholic, what did that mean for him as an Anglican? That question wouldn't go away. Years of reflection and prayer followed, as Newman studied how Church doctrine developed over time. In 1845, his research, prayer, and conscience led him to one conclusion: the fullness of truth was found in the Catholic Church. That same year, he published his famous book, An Essay on the Development of Christian Doctrine, showing how the Holy Spirit guides the Church in deepening its understanding of truth without breaking from its roots. And in October 1845, after months of inner struggle, Newman was received into the Catholic Church. It was a decision that cost him dearly: friends, reputation, and even his livelihood. Yet he described it as the moment when it was like coming into port after a rough sea. His conversion shook England. To some, it felt like betrayal. To others, it was an act of immense courage. But for Newman, it was obedience to conscience. Obedience to the voice of God calling him home. As a Catholic priest, Newman poured his gifts into preaching, teaching, and writing. He defended the faith in a society that often misunderstood it, showing that Catholicism wasn't opposed to reason, it completed it. He believed that reason and revelation are like two wings lifting the soul to truth. His writings helped countless people see that faith is not blind. It's reasonable, reflective, and deeply personal. In his Grammar of Assent, Newman explained how faith grows, not just through arguments or proof, but through conviction, experience, and conscience. He wrote, "Faith is the reasoning of a religious mind." And perhaps his most revolutionary insight was his teaching on conscience. Newman described conscience as the aboriginal vicar of Christ in the soul. He meant that deep within each of us, God speaks, not to excuse sin, but to call us toward holiness and truth. He showed that listening to conscience isn't about following feelings. It's about hearing God's quiet, insistent whisper in the depths of the heart. As you can imagine, this message was powerful and sometimes uncomfortable. Newman challenged both skepticism and blind conformity. He believed the Christian life had to be thoughtful, honest, and lived from the inside out. In 1879, Pope Leo XIII made Newman a cardinal, recognizing his extraordinary service to the Church. He wasn't given a diocese, but something greater, a platform to speak to the modern world about faith, truth, and the unity of heart and mind. Newman had a deep love for the Eucharist. For him, much beyond a symbol, it was the real, living presence of Christ. He once wrote, "In the Mass is renewed that one sacrifice which alone is our salvation." His prayer life centered on that reality. In his quiet chapel hours, he would meditate on the mystery of God made near, body and soul. His devotion to the Blessed Sacrament became the anchor of his priestly life. He saw the Eucharist as both the summit of faith and the school of conscience, the place where love and truth meet. Although Newman lived in an age of skepticism, when faith was often dismissed as superstition, he showed that faith could engage the modern world intelligently and confidently. He transformed education too. His masterpiece, The Idea of a University, called for an education that forms both the mind and the soul, where knowledge serves virtue and truth leads to holiness. His writings influenced generations of thinkers, poets, and teachers. C.S. Lewis, G.K. Chesterton, and even modern theologians have drawn from his wisdom. Through it all, Newman reminded the world that Christianity is not a relic of the past, but a living, present, and deeply fulfilling way of life. However, Newman's journey wasn't easy. He endured public attacks and isolation. But instead of retaliating in anger, he responded with patience, humility, and clarity. He continued writing until his death on August 11, 1890, in Birmingham, England. In 2019, Pope Francis canonized him a saint, and on July 31, 2025, Pope Leo XIV declared him a Doctor of the Church, one of the few from the modern era. His feast day is celebrated on October 9th, the day he entered into full communion with the Catholic Church. Newman once wrote, "God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another." Those words remind us that holiness is personal. Each of us has a mission, a calling that only we can fulfill.
So what can we learn from Saint John Henry Newman today?
When the world is flooded with opinions, he teaches us to listen to conscience, to truth, to God. In an age that prizes achievement, he reminds us to seek integrity. And in a culture that often separates reason from faith, he shows us they belong together. Newman's life was a journey of courage, the courage to think, to question, and to follow the truth wherever it led. His writings invite us to be bold, thoughtful believers, to integrate prayer with intellect, and to live a faith that is honest, intelligent, and alive.
His story isn't just about conversion, it's about conviction. He shows that holiness isn't about never struggling. It's about never giving up on the search for truth. Thank you for joining us on Heroic Lives. If the story of Saint John Henry Newman inspired you, take a moment to share this episode with someone searching for truth or struggling to reconcile faith and reason. And remember, holiness isn't for a chosen few. It's for all of us who dare to listen to God's call in our conscience and live it out with courage. Until next time, stay rooted in faith, guided by truth, and open to grace. God bless you.
Shalom World Podcasts is now available on all online platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and others.